This is a meeting of the Open Space Committee. It's December 18th at 2:30. This meeting will be video recorded and broadcast over local access channel 8 and through the town website, www.eastham-ma.gov. Welcome, everyone. Roll call for quorum. Francis here.
Rob Young here.
Here.
Joanna Buffington here.
Okay, Michelle
Vione here.
and Karen.
If you wait,
Karen,
Oh, I already said.
all right, oh, good. So we're
Francis,
set.
if you wait 2 seconds, I'm sending the link to Kate so
Okay.
she can join.
All right,
I just need to find the link unless you have it handy.
It's on the agenda.
Yeah, but she
Yeah.
can't bring that up for whatever reason.
oh,
Yeah, it's on the Town of Eastham website.
know.
You just have
Yeah,
it.
still, you gotta go like
Email.
3 places to find it. It's
I know.
Usually you put it in the email.
in the email. Let's see, the
Uh,
email would have been last week.
Right?
Uh,
All right, you guys could keep talking. I'll get around here.
all right, minutes for this meeting is Joanna. Karen, I got a note from you. You just sent in August.
I did.
Yeah.
5 seconds before the meeting started. Everybody should have it in their email, and I do
Excellent.
apologize.
Ah.
For the,
Do you want to put it off or do you want to spend some time reading it now? I'm sure Karen's are always very, very detailed. But,
maybe a little less details.
Did
It's two.
Did
2
you
and a
read
half-
it?
it's
no,
a page-
because it just came in.
It's only, it's a page and a half.
All right, so why don't we, can we keep that and put that on the January agenda? Thank you. And so that will be January,
Great.
Karen's.
Fine.
All right, and then we have Kate for October and Rob for November.
Last month,
did-
almost done.
Yeah, okay, so in January, we'll review those.
what happened to September?
September was accepted. September was Linda, and we approved it at the
Okay,
last.
so
meeting.
who's October was
October is Kate.
Kate and Rob, you're
November is
November? Okay.
Rob.
November.
Okay, so we'll,
August we have.
okay,
Okay,
great.
so,
And I think I'm next.
Go ahead,
Am I next? After Joanna? I'm usually after Joanna.
let's see.
Well, January's
Hey,
minutes will be
Kate,
easy.
can
'cause
you
we'll
hear us
get them
okay?
Yeah,
Reviewing minutes, that's all we'll have on the,
yeah,
Kate just came up.
okay,
I
great,
don't know if you
Kate's
can hear
here,
us.
now we have a full agenda.
okay. great.
Okay, on the OSRP, going to the agenda, December 5th meeting was canceled, rescheduled for January 7th. We're editing chapter 5, inventory of lands of conservation and recreation. And Shayna is working on chapter 3, community setting. Any additions, Michelle, to that report? Okay, so January 7th is before our January meeting, so that will be fine. Okay, the land management plan.
Can I just make one comment? I know we're gonna talk about Sandy Meadow later, but
Yeah.
in the OSRP, you guys have been reviewing that, so that's great. I just want to make sure that Shayna includes that citation or, reference to that mapping thing that came out from
Right.
APCC.
I will, right now, yeah.
Joint. Do you remember, Alex, who the partner was, or Karen? APCC came out with that map last year of if you're looking for
Yeah, it was
affordable housing.
APC. It was APC and HAC, Housing Assistance Corporation.
Housing Assistance Corporation. So that's a key. We just want to make sure
That mapping is
that's
included.
cited.
Yeah.
In the OSRP when looking for places for affordable housing and looking for protection areas, and it clearly, colors out what already is protected, what they think should be, and where to look for development. So it's a great tool. So, what was the second group again? APCC, I always remember, and
HAC.
H,
Housing-
Housing Assistance
Yeah,
Corporation.
HAC. We'll put that on the.
Okay, great.
I'll share that with Shayna and
Yeah,
we'll, put
great.
that on January 7th.
Okay, thanks.
Great, great. On the land management plan for Wiley, Tom Farrell is the forester who covers the whole Cape. He's the only one. He's had, he's been very busy, as you can imagine. And, but today he came up with a proposed date on January 3rd. And, Shana was concerned before that because our grant from Massachusetts was through January, but she's found out that this will be covered still. So we still have the grant. And then her other concern was that, can you do an assessment when the leaves are down? And yes, the one problem that they're going to have is that one of the concerns for Eastham is the migration north of the southern pine beetle, and it will be dormant at this time, so that might need a follow-up evaluation, okay? And so the proposed date is January 3rd. I'm not sure if it's finalized, but I am not in town, so I assured her that I would have somebody from the open space join them on that day. So once I get a time,
Okay.
I'll send out a.
I'm not
email.
going anywhere.
Yeah.
I'll be
and
here too.
It's very interesting, so
Yeah.
I'm sure it will be.
I can do it.
It will be there. So there's Alex, Christine from Recreation, Shayna, Mike Harnett from the Forest Committee, and an open space rec. So once I get the date, we'll do that. It'll be an interesting walkthrough.
You said his name is Tom Farrell?
Yeah,
I wonder if he's related to the famous Eastham electrical Farrell.
Feral Electric, as in Feral
Yeah.
Electric. Yeah, I don't know.
Don't know, okay.
Isn't there feral tree people too?
Farrell, maybe,
It's a big name in town.
okay. Anyway, look forward to meeting.
Yeah,
Sorry, I digress.
okay.
Okay,
So next is Cindy Meadows interpretive sign and drum beat, everybody, because look at what Alex, I'm gonna let him explain this. We actually have a product.
So we've got a finalized sign for Meet the Locals and the bowl. The text that Karen has put together remains the same.
Karen,
but
can you
the-
see this at all?
Yeah,
How would
I did also see the files Alex sent.
Okay.
Yeah,
Me
okay.
too.
So images have been updated to a higher resolution. We've submitted a purchase order to Fossil, that's been signed. So unless something else comes up, I believe these are in production currently.
Explain this, because I thought that was interesting.
Yes, this is a color sample. So what they do is they just take a random section of our sign, and they print it out just to make sure that, it looks the way we want it to.
Can you show that to the camera? The
Yes.
Sample tile?
this is great.
You see it okay, Kara?
I can't see it at all.
All right,
Yeah, they can-
where's the camera in this room,
It's
guys?
right here.
Okay, so when it gets down there, just hold it up in front of the owl,
Hold it up somehow.
front of the owl, please.
The owl, I'm not sure the owl's eyes are.
No?
Yeah,
A little bit to your.
to your face, toward your
Put it in
face.
front of your face, Joanna.
Put it in front of your face.
And,
Ah.
and
And
move a little bit,
talk.
move a little bit to your
okay,
left.
I am a talking tile.
The talking
I am a talking
Joanna,
tile.
can you move a little bit to your left? No, now you're gone.
Thanks, Karen.
Does that work?
Left hand on your head, thank you.
Almost, now you've disappeared entirely.
Twist, twist this way,
Freestanding. that's-
my other left.
Your other left.
Right.
No,
Other right.
your
Wrong
other.
way.
Oh,
You're
I
good.
know, and down just a little. There you go.
Be very
So
happy.
as far
Oh,
as.
Perfect, don't move.
That looks really good. The colors.
And nobody else should speak because the owl moves when
Oh,
somebody else
yeah,
speaks.
the owl, this is very
I'm
weird.
So everybody be quiet while Joanna sits there.
Not-
Okay, let me
The color-
let me
the colors are-
talk.
Okay,
colors
Okay,
came
I
out
am,
great.
I am talking. I am not a drone. I am droning on, but I am
Now
not
you
a
can see
drone.
yourself.
And I'm not over.
You have to
Nice.
yourself up there, move it to the other side.
Oh, look at that.
There we go,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah,
Microphone.
I'm liking the way the background color printed.
Yeah, everything looks good. It feels good too. It's nice. That's the
Wow.
acrylic that it's gonna be. That'll be nice.
Now see, okay.
Very nice.
Okay.
The matte finish, I'm assuming you're doing the matte finish. That's
I think
great.
so.
Wow. Pink lady slipper, that's on there. I missed it. Is it on there? Oh, it is.
So as far as the timeline on
Yeah.
production, I'm not sure what that looks like, but you know, as I know more, I'll share that with the committee.
Well, we can't get it in the ground until the ground is soft anyway.
Picture I've ever seen is one of Karen's with carrying a large rabbit in its mouth from Lieutenant Island. We should have got that one. Anyway,
All right, excellent. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Alex, everybody that worked on it, Joanna, we all worked on it. So thank you all very much. The end product is excellent. Is excellent. Now we still working on the trailhead sign.
Correct.
And we have the drone picture, because you took those.
Got the drone picture, but I think for that one, we're gonna use satellite imagery that's already uploaded on.
Right,
GIS. Yeah.
right. So can we make some plans to follow up on that one and get that one going? I think that, is that the one that involved working with Paul Lagg's office?
Correct. yeah.
Okay,
So I have not been able to do that since our last meeting, so that remains on my list.
so maybe soon after the break in January, we can be scheduled with Paul's office to
Yeah.
finish that process.
Yeah, and so for this, I'll call it purchase, you know, we only purchased these two signs, so we still have the funds for. That's just kind of sitting there currently.
mhm.
Okay, great.
And
We
there should
also-
be sufficient funds. I think the total was like 7,000. I think we should
Yeah,
be fine.
so I think our original quote was well underneath.
Yeah, yes,
that.
right.
Okay.
We added a little bit for this,
For the
Oh, to get
images.
the,
for the
the
colors, the
images.
colors sample. We
Yeah,
had to
the
pay
color
extra.
sample was $60.
$60.
We paid, you know, some money for the images, which we still have leftover credits for.
Good,
So if
Yeah.
there's.
We need
images that
additional
Right,
images that
right.
we need high res. We still have.
right.
Okay.
You want to
Yeah.
include images on the. other
the
side.
trailhead one, we
You
could.
could-
use.
You know, I haven't looked at that model for a while, so, maybe we can get on that in January.
Yeah.
and Just finish that up. We have the
Right.
images, we have the satellite, so it should go together quickly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The only thing we needed was the map, I think,
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is coming from
Right.
Paul.
and the
It's
map.
a
list.
pirate.
Oh,
It's a pirate
excuse
there.
me, we have a pirate joining the meeting.
Yes, I gotta write that in the
Ahoy
minutes.
there, ahoy.
Pirate,
Arr.
attending.
Very
Okay.
nice, that adds a lot of class to this.
Mhm. And a nice
Just a
Christmas
little
tree in the
bit.
background.
Just gonna go on the,
Trailhead sign.
trailhead signs, and the kiosks are going in where? There's two places.
Yes.
That's
Right.
Wiley Park. Oh, no,
no,
these,
the first one is just about at the end of where the current ADA trail is.
Yeah.
Right,
And
looks out
um,
over the bowl.
it looks over the bowl, and then the second is the overlook at the end.
and you had three quotes? didn't
Well,
you?
that's you're talking about the extension, we're gonna talk about that in a minute.
Oh, yeah, that's right, that
Right.
was the extension.
But we know where
Wasn't
these are
kiosks.
going.
Mhm.
Good news
That's
on
pretty good.
DPW is that they will have new staff in the new year. So we'll be, once we get everything, we can get on their docket to
Install.
install
Default signs.
the, well, I think, well, we can talk about this, but one idea, do we wait till the ADA trail is done and then we install the
I think
signs?
that makes the
That
most
makes
sense.
Yeah, you want
Why?
to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you don't.
Well, because
Why
you
wait?
want them to,
Replacement.
when they go to do,
Yeah, we-
when they go to clear and put down what they're gonna put down, you don't want those posts in there and then they've got to work around the signs.
But that's gonna be done this winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ADA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And then
And
the-
and during our site visits, we talked with the contractors to have kind of a bump out where the signs.
where the
will
signs are gonna go. So, yeah.
Okay,
So that you have room to turn around,
turn around.
turn a wheelchair around. And,
Good.
Do you think maybe they could install the signs as part of the work installing the trail, get it all done at once?
I know, sorry, I didn't hear you, Karen.
Karen asked if could the sign installation be part of the work that's done for the.
Could the same people who do the ADU, we could ask.
Oh, we
see what-
didn't have that on the, we didn't have that on the bid.
Right.
We did,
yeah.
maybe it could be something we asked.
Did we already pick?
And we,
Uh,
yeah, well, we're
do we-
gonna get to
okay,
that, we're
get to
jumping
that.
ahead, but we could ask, but I think we have the funds.
Yeah, DPW also, I think is willing to.
Yeah.
to do
Install
the
them too.
install,
Yeah.
So,
Cause
Yeah.
they've expressed willingness to install the the kiosks.
In
Right.
Wiley Park and yeah.
okay.
Right.
Missed
So,
somewhere. Is the DPW not doing the trail work? Somebody else is doing the trail work?
Yeah, we're
Right.
gonna get to that in a minute. Is there anything else on the sign? So we're gonna
No.
start the last sign in January.
So
Next year.
yes, correct.
And then
Great.
we should be good.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Mhm. No,
Okay,
and then we should plan an event when they're all out there.
definitely.
yeah,
A ribbon cutting event?
A ribbon cutting event, maybe some walkthrough tours and
Yeah.
things.
Right, Karen, I already have been thinking about that, so I was thinking you'd be great to give a explanation of the history of the site, because you know it all.
Mhm.
And the types of things, so, yes, but
Yeah, I'd be
was-
happy to do that.
I was talking about this at the CPA approval meeting, and they just asked for us to wait to good weather, so
Yeah.
we'll wait till it's warmer. Karen.
Well, yeah, definitely wait till it's warmer. Maybe some things, it's starting to green back up again, you know.
Right, right, excellent, yeah, that would be lovely. All right, on staying in Sandy Meadow. We also have information on the trail extension. Alex has got out bids and, you have 3 bids back.
We have 3 bids back. So we've got quotes from Joyce Landscaping to Matton Landscaping and Ponderosa. Upon speaking to John at the DPW, he recommended that a base of gravel be laid down prior to the stabilized soil that will be used to create the surface of the ADA trail. So I've asked these contractors to provide us with revised quotes showing that base layer of gravel. The Ponderosa quote already included that. I believe Joyce Landscaping provided us an updated quote. And then, so once we have the revised quote from Tim Acton, then we'll have our 3 finalized quotes. So I'm thinking at our January meeting, we can look through these and choose a contractor for this project. All 3 contractors were good with our time frame of having this completed sometime this winter to early spring. That's a good time for landscaping companies to take on a project like this because they don't have as much work during the winter.
Were they all within our budget
They-
without getting to specifics?
Yeah.
2 or 1 wasn't.
Correct, yes, thank you, Francis. 2 were in our budget, 1 was not.
Okay.
80,000.
80,000.
80,000.
I was really
Yeah.
glad that you reached out to John Ruffley and got his expertise
Yeah,
on the quality, because we want to make sure we do it last,
Right.
so it lasts. And there's not gonna be further
Right.
problems.
I
So
know.
that's really good. And then maybe once we choose our bid, he can look at it again.
Sure.
I mean, we want his input,
yeah,
because it's the technical about, I was looking over the bids, the different types of base, so we need.
Right.
So we need expertise in technical, so maybe we can ask John to do another look before we choose.
well, why don't I get, once I have all 3 quotes, how about I send them all 3?
Right.
Yeah, let him review
Let
it.
him review them
So he can review them before our next meeting.
before the, I think that makes.
And
sense.
I wouldn't rule out what Karen said. Since they're going to be there and they're going to be there with equipment and they're going to be doing these cutouts, to find out what would be involved for them to actually be available for the installation of those. Because they'll have the equipment right there and they're going to be literally on site where they're going to go.
Yeah.
So maybe it's something that they can do for little or no extra money.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good thought, Karen. Thank you.
Right, yeah,
Yeah, it's basically post hole digging, I think.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
maybe
whatever they're
always
going to
extend.
secure it in, you know,
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah.
maybe a little concrete. I don't know, but yeah. So one other thing on the trail, it should get a NSEHP review.
Correct.
So at what point in the process
What,
would that happen?
Well, that,
That's a natural heritage review because it has rare species. It needs
Yeah.
to get sign off from the
So
state.
Since, I mean, we more or less have. We know what work is going to be
Mhm.
done for the project. Why don't I reach out to NHESP? I'll do it this week. And see what their comments are on it.
Yeah, I don't anticipate any problems. I think
Yeah,
we structured it so it has a minimal impact.
yep, so I mean, yeah, you're right, all the, any vegetation removal is. On the right
Yeah.
side.
I just want to make sure we do it because I'm the one who's always so adamant about everybody doing this.
I agree.
we probably have enough information for you to reach out for an approval now,
mhm.
Yeah.
without choosing
Yeah.
the,
Right, yeah,
you
we
don't have to choose the contractor,
don't.
all right.
Then,
I'm in the wrong business.
All right.
can you touch on the AmeriCorps project as well?
Yes, go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah, we had a pretty successful day.
Yeah, so AmeriCorps did some maintenance work out at Sandy Meadow for us. I believe that was December 2nd.
Yep.
Mhm.
And so we did some lopping of the pitch pine saplings. If you haven't been out to the property, I highly recommend going out. It's something really nice. So Natural Resource is out there with us. We had a full core. So I think there was 12 AmeriCorps members. So members from all three houses were at Sandy Meadow.
It was a good day, I think.
Was
I mean,
a nice day.
It was a very nice day.
Yeah.
And then you had Eastham staff. Okay,
We had Eastham staff there as well. Yeah.
It's turtle patrol season, so it's looking for turtles.
are we scheduled
sea
for next
turtles.
year?
We don't have a date for next year, but when that becomes available, we'll go. And Linda was there for a couple hours helping us. Thank you, Linda. And Francis brought some cookies for the AmeriCorps members and those were greatly appreciated.
Cookies always are, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Mhm.
So Sandy Meadow's in great shape. Agreed?
Mhm.
Great, great. And next item was just to clarify where we are on the website and trail maps updating projects. I know Linda, Kate, Michelle, Rob have been all working on that, and I didn't have a clear sense of where we are and what we want to accomplish still.
And I feel like I owed everyone a meeting invite and then I never sent that. So I feel like we need to get that going.
We will.
Great.
So, Sent Michelle, I just sent you your email, the maps that I walked.
Okay,
Can't read it, let me know and I will clarify, because I tried to put in comments where I was. And I'll send it to you as well.
Okay.
And Kate, I'll send it to you as well.
Do we want to schedule a meeting with this group after the new year prior to our next
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's the move.
Give the committee an update as to where things stand.
Right.
Yeah.
Want to take this?
I think if you can all get together and just see
Yeah.
what everybody's done and clarify,
Right.
that would be good. So, Kay, do you want to send out some meeting times to people later?
Yes, I'll kind of do that now even because I
Okay.
just don't want to miss it. Yep.
Super.
it's Kate.
I had one comment that, when I was walking Higgins, but that's near my house, the decision needs to be made on where to put, because for the markers there, we haven't put the markers, but it's a straightforward trail. The decision needs to be made of where to put the last marker, telling people that they are leaving the property. And that's the side toward Nauset Road where it's
Right.
not clear.
Right.
And, so that was my one comment on that. I think the other ones were we're done. We're done.
I don't think we've gone to Higgins.
Right,
Yeah, we didn't do
you
it.
haven't done that.
Were we also gonna do a site visit at the Southeast Ham?
Yeah, we're gonna add.
You were gonna add, because somebody said there was some confusion, so you need to add, and that's red, so you might have to buy more red.
Okay.
I hold everything now.
Okay,
They're in my car.
okay,
Just to see how many red we got.
see how many red.
Would you still be interested in scheduling a site visit out to that property?
I think we have to do it periodically anyway. But yeah,
And everybody bring your loppers, just every time.
In case.
put
Yeah,
them in the car.
doesn't hurt.
Yep.
So there's two site visits, Southeast Ham, Conservation, and Higgins.
Yep.
And who's gonna schedule those?
I can.
Okay, so after.
I'm around, so
Yeah.
I can do it too.
Southeast Ham and then Higgins. Okay. For scheduling Higgins, if it would be after January 6th, because I'm away that week, so I can't do anything then. All right, and then we'll get all reorganized on that. All right. On the Friends of Eastham Open Spaces, we have a draft description. Rob started us off. I added just a tiny bit. Joanna looked at it.
Mhm.
This is the paragraph that I think I included on the, on the minutes. And, not in the minutes, on the meeting. So that's where we are on that. How do people like the look of it? I mean, it's not finalized, but, it's a good. I like the tone. I like it. If anybody wants, to edit, please let us know. So we'll have this. So at some point, this would go on the website, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so that they could then get in contact, I guess, with
Right.
you out. Yeah. And then we get them set up. And then they could be paired with maybe somebody on our committee to go out for their first time to see how it works. And get some good feedback too.
Sure.
So, and we could possibly put a post or two up on our social media. How many followers do we have, Kate? Do you know?
Yes. Let me see. Hold on one sec. You guys can move on and I'll interrupt because
Okay.
it'll take me a sec.
Oh, the other thing too, so talking about social media, is some pictures of, the AmeriCorps work.
AmeriCorps should go up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, please. Send them my way. We have 265 followers.
Okay, that's not bad. And we could, once we have this post, we could also post it on the Eastham Facebook pages,
Yes, definitely.
which would
That'll-
be a great. They've got a good number of people.
Yeah, Facebook page.
Two Eastham Facebook pages.
And Francis, I like what you wrote. I think
One's
it's
from the
great.
town.
Oh, well, that wasn't really me. That was Rob. Joanna did more.
Oh, Rob, Joanna, and
Yeah,
it's
they
all
were all
good.
good. They were good writers. Yeah. Joanna made it a little bit more, peppy, I think. Yeah,
and I
yeah.
like that you said full-time
I
and
think it's Peppy.
part-time.
I think that was Joanna.
Yeah, Joanna, great job.
I think of Peppy, I think of you.
I think it was
You're a
very-
good writer, Joanna.
Very peppy. Two Eastham Facebook pages. And on our Instagram account, and Rob, you're gonna, not Rob, why do I keep calling you Rob today? Alex, you're gonna send some pictures to Kate, and then she's gonna put them on
Yeah,
Instagram.
I sent them to you to have Kate's phone number. Would you want to forward those to Kate?
I'll have to look for those, I really can't.
I just did it right now.
Oh, just now,
Yeah.
I saw something flick, okay, I will forward it to Kate. And I will also give you Kate's, information, so that you can send these. Okay.
Joanna, or whoever wrote that, the only word I would maybe embellish on is the word changes. You say when you're out on your walk and you see any changes that could be made, maybe be more specific, like maintenance or
Okay.
safety issues or something like, changes.
See where
Our
it is?
attention.
Changes could be
Needs
like,
attention.
put a
That
bench
sounds
here,
good.
or
Note
something.
anything, well, not even changes, anything that needs attention, just
That's
So-
Exactly,
take note of
changes.
anything that needs attention. Take changes out.
Yeah, changes sounds kind of big and broad.
Good point.
Anything, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I've been keeping this. I will, change the file I have and then make sure you get the
Yeah.
corrected file.
okay.
Did you? I know, Rob, I know you're on the Eastham Dog Owners Association newsletter, but they completely disavowed any connection to the Christmas ornaments being hung in Wiley Park. They said, that's not us.
Okay.
I just thought that was funny, but people either,
Methinks
Love
thou
it or hate it.
protest too much, but
yeah,
okay.
I know.
Oh.
I like them, and they do take them down.
I like them, but I don't like the ones that are glass because I pick glass off the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm
Oh,
surprised they still have glass ones because they went
Yeah.
out a long time ago.
Anyway,
Now, did we get the last meeting, we talked about getting the report to Alex on the Friends of Eastham phone app when it was urgent, like a tree down. Did that change get made to the app?
That hasn't been made. We've got a slight delay with that, because Angela, who was kind of overseeing that software, is no longer with the town, and her position is being replaced. So perhaps that could be something Paul could help me with. I could have that conversation with Paul.
Yeah.
He's pretty well versed in people forms as well. So as of right now, there's been no
Yeah.
change to that, but
Okay.
I'll look into that.
So in this, on a same note, this app that we're to be using, we're making all these changes to. This is the old app that I downloaded to my phone way back when we first started. Is it automatically?
It should be the same, it should be the same,
Graded?
it should be the same
Okay.
link, yeah,
That's all.
okay.
Okay. All right, yeah, I think that's important, Alex, so that if the tree is down, we want it moved over.
Yeah.
And people want to see action. So that's good, so you're gonna work with Paul on that. So we lost the staff person?
Yeah, Angela moved on. I'm not sure where. she
Yeah.
went to.
Yeah. The story. Okay. Okay, the. Was it F1 fiscal year 26 CPA application unanimously approved at the December 14th meeting. The CPA committee urged me to continue following up with the tech school on having them as a project. Scheduling is quite complicated for the tech teachers though, because they work within the school year and other projects. And so I'm not sure. I do have a contact and I've sent out an email out and he answered back first, well, I couldn't do it this very soon. But then I said that, we were flexible, so I don't know if that's gonna happen.
And this was for the
Kiosks.
This is the kiosk. Oh, I'm sorry, it's the trail kiosk.
But we've
And
got
the-
two solid.
We have two bids and
Yeah.
they also like a third, so if any ideas of a third vendor, please tell Alex or me and we'll send out another bid. We have two bids. And this is where asking Stephanie Sykes for a recommendation. She was very positive about this project and said with the new staff that coming in, that they would be available to install the kiosks, because at a meeting, we were concerned about the safety of the installation. We wanted it
Right.
to be done.
Right, and it would
correctly.
be nice to not have to pay
Yes,
CPA funds for that.
right. So,
CPA never minds having you not spend it all.
of course. So if any third bid, I mean, we went through the ones we had, but if anything else comes up,
Does anybody, Alex, do you have a contact in Orleans to be able to, because they have that kiosk? You know, I wonder if, I don't know how new that is or when they installed it, but do you know anybody over there at the town that we could contact?
I could reach out to John Janelle. He's the conservation agent in Orleans, and see what vendors they use for their kiosk.
Because I can take that as an action item unless you know him. You want me to do that? John, I can call them.
Okay, yeah,
Just say, hey, we're thinking of, we love what you did and we want to do the same thing. And do you have any folks that you can recommend who didn't the install?
oh, the install, but because we use it.
oh, for the install.
The install, we don't know, well, we know.
Or the dig?
We know the designer of the kiosk, because that's one of our bids.
Right, timber.
Yeah.
mills.
Yes, and we have their bid.
I know that. No, that my thing was not who was the designer, but do they know anybody else that they normally use to put things like this in? So I can take an action item to contact them.
Well, they did send us a letter of the people that they, Michelle, before
Yeah.
that, you and I will talk somewhere in my
Yeah, I think
notes.
we've already covered
We
Orleans.
contacted Orleans. They told us who they had bids on or contacted.
Correct.
We use those. Okay, so that we don't want to, so I just want to talk.
Duplicate.
Right, and
Yeah, I
our-
don't wanna duplicate.
yeah,
But
right.
let me look at my notes at home and I'll tell you what the
And then,
communication was with the
yeah,
Orleans
I know
people.
for their installation, I believe the DPW installed their
Okay,
kiosks.
right, yeah,
yeah, and if our DPW does ours, that'd be great.
right.
But Joanna, I can take the lead as an action item on following up on this particular thing, working with Francis to make sure we're not duplicating anything.
Okay, I will.
How about that?
I will look at my notes and send you a note.
Okay.
Okay. On old and new business, there's a few things that came up after I had done the agenda. One is that when I was walking in Higgins, I saw tractor tracks in an area that I believe is Eastham. I think that my suggestion is is a time come that we get a clear boundary markers set up for where our property is, particularly on that whatever direction it is toward Nauset Road, so everybody's very clear about what.
But this is the same abutter probably who demolished our sign. And is the owner of the property from Nauset Road to the
I
west,
think
on the
it's
west
an
side.
area of land that is disputed. Obviously, this other person thinks they own it.
Mhm.
And our understanding in Eastham is that we own it. So if they could talk to Paul about getting
Well-
some boundary markers up.
But I think this is this has been not addressed by the town multiple times. There's been, encroachment and issues with on this for a while, and Jackie said that really needs to be the town that addresses it. If we put up markers, they're going to disappear.
No, I
Here,
didn't
I
mean
mean-
us to do it. I meant the
Yeah.
town.
I'm sure they have to.
Either
Well, yeah,
survey-
that's what it is. It's
It
the-
has to be an official town of Eastham. Like when I was walking today, I had
Yeah.
the National Seashore signs posted to trees. I had ECF signs
Yep.
posted to trees.
right.
If
Thanks to
we
Bob
could
Cook.
get that,
Put those up.
the
Yeah.
Eastham Town property
Yeah.
posted.
Yeah, Alex, but I would check back with Jackie's office
Right.
on that because of the sensitivity of this
Right,
ongoing
right,
issue.
right, right.
But that, we need that. You're right. We
Yeah.
need that
I
done.
think it's
Well,
done.
Have we ever had the property surveyed?
We asked
So
Paul
how,
and when the first encroachment, and the answer was no.
That needs to be done.
so without a survey, how can
Right,
this be a clear delineation of
Right.
boundaries in a way that is enforceable?
was correct.
Right, right. So again, it's gonna be not open space committee power to do that. And when the town acquired the property, it was an issue even with the acquisition of the property, because there was on the assessor records, it was 8 acres. On other records, it was 5 points. It was a very
Mhm.
different even number of acres. So that has not been
So
final
just,
addressed. But
so,
yeah,
so that kind of raises the question on why we didn't get it surveyed at the time of purchase.
Yeah.
And it seems like if we want to resolve this, it's going to need a survey.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's the legal piece right
Yep.
there.
Yep.
So,
We have a plan of land. I guess like a survey.
all I have is
And I could
those.
probably look on my end too.
well, and see with the CPA application to acquire it from the Higgins family, there was some stuff in it. But town council, when the town still needed, actually, there's a purchase and sales from the town. And so again, it goes back to sort of Jackie's office and what town council, what's in their folders, and it's probably incomplete. Yeah, because I don't think it was surveyed again, but we're gonna continue to have these issues until that's
Right,
done,
I don't know.
If,
or the town acquires the abutting property, and that would take care of a lot, but that would be nice. It's a good chunk of land, but
yeah,
Are we talking about the dirt pile?
no. Well, yes, there's a whole bunch of,
There's an Eastham,
Yeah.
they own that, but prior to that.
from
right on
Nauset Road, down that road is privately owned.
That's what we're talking about,
yes.
that we walked through.
Yeah,
when you schedule a site visit out there, could I tag along with you?
Sure,
Will be after the 6th of January.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, just like.
for Higgins, right,
yeah.
right, for Higgins.
But there's a long history here.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Don't
Yeah,
just start
okay, so
putting
what-
up things like it's a new issue. No, it's,
Yeah, it's not a new issue, but,
yeah.
So it's not as simple as just getting it surveyed. Like it seems like there's a reason they didn't do that, right?
Well, that's what we need to see. I know
Yeah.
that the property issues and town council requirements, I don't know. Yeah, it's above my pay grade.
and I was only working when we placed the signs, working with the information we had from Bob Cook. Who had
Yeah.
put up those, markers around, and we
Right.
were well within, but obviously there's.
Well, and the big sign that we
Yeah.
paid good
Right,
money
right,
for,
it's gone.
which disappeared,
So-
was definitely on our
It would be nice to get that resolved, I don't know.
Yeah.
So the plan is
Yeah.
then we will take a walk after January 6th,
Mhm.
and then we'll have the facts to bring to Jackie's office and see where we
Again.
are status wise.
Yeah.
If a survey is possible, I mean, not possible, it's
Yeah.
always possible. If that's the next step, or is there another avenue we have to?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
We could put out some fake signs that say signage under video surveillance and see if that's a deterrent.
think that's
No,
gonna deter.
no.
We need something
No.
stronger.
No.
Well,
Joyce?
some people might decide it's not worth destroying a sign if they're caught on tape.
Well, Joyce Higgins, who, bless her heart, she still comes up occasionally in the summer, but she said, she knows the abutter, and they are friendly, and she's, I'm gonna tell him that's the Higgins conservation area. Anyway,
Oh.
she didn't follow through with that, but she was quite entertained that he was the one, because she thought they were on the same side. There was a time when the town was sort of encroaching on both of them, or that was the perception, is the town kept moving a little further under a three ago DPW head. So again, long history. Jackie has all the files.
Okay, so we'll explore
Yeah.
our opportunities here. Okay.
Opportunity, that's what it is.
Opportunity. And
Challenges
every
and
problem is an
opportunities.
opportunity, right?
Yes.
Somebody said that. And also on new business, just this morning, we got an email from Shayna regarding that the Affordable Housing Trust was talking again about Sandy Meadow. And Joanna, you want to share your ideas on that one?
Yeah, I mean, this continues to come up. Sandy Meadow, the original 65 acres, I don't know the numbers exactly, and then 20 something acres negotiated to develop Sandy Meadow Way, with most of that being affordable housing. I think 11 plus the 2 habitat houses, leaving the 46 or 7 as open space, and on the APCC and HAC corporate maps. I mean, and we know this is a very important wildlife corridor and conservation area that doesn't have the final full protections by a conservation restriction. And so we need affordable housing. We do. But they're always looking at what does the town already own that we could do something with, and it comes up time and again for the 3-acre Christmas tree little piece along the road. And then the part you could access from Route 6 and extend. There's already houses along Route 6 and one entryway, and doing another sort of developing that strip behind that, which would lop off an important part of the conservation area towards Route 6. So it continues to come up. So I think we just need to remain vigilant about protecting this important resource, and especially the piece towards Route 6. That would have developing in there would damage much more than just the strip the houses are on. It would really take away a lot of the continuity of the space there. So just important to stay fixated
Maybe
on
we
that.
Have the owl show this to Kate and Michelle.
Oh.
It's this area,
Yeah.
and there's that area.
Yeah.
Came up. So
Yeah.
it's-
Okay, let's
the
see.
owl picture.
Oh, if I talk, okay, are we doing the owl thing again? And I am,
That's
Yeah,
good.
I can't see.
if you move it a little bit to your right,
okay.
there you
That's
go.
good.
So we're talking about, over here, and then this Christmas tree. Got the Christmas tree. And while all of it is important, I mean, clearly the AmeriCorps work, the ADA trail, all the stuff we're doing is on the bigger piece. The Christmas tree piece is important. Again, when you look at the wider picture of the links up to Audubon, I mean, the bigger wildlife corridor, this is all important, but that's closer to the road. Again, just being vigilant about any sort of development. It seems to me the main part of it is we really need to continue to fight for that being protected. Ultimately a CR, but that's been tried. It hasn't been tried in a few years, but town meeting, something has to go to town meeting for change of use. And that was tried to get it transferred over to conservation. I don't know that last town meeting, but it was not successful. And so it's still on paper, it's still not protected. If you go to the APCC map, though, it's not a place that should be developed. So
Mhm. Yeah, if you look at Mass Mapper, can I share my screen for a second?
Go ahead.
Um, Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so if you look at that, this big area, can you see my cursor? This big area that where it says PH 892?
Mhm.
PH 892 is the mapped area for rare species. And and that's the largest mapped area on the Cape. And you can see that here's Sandy Meadow almost all the way out to the highway. Oh, there's some development along this strip out here near 6. But otherwise, you can see how it extends all the way out to the bay and well up into Wellfleet and across up in Wellfleet into this development, but it all connects together. So developing that, and you can see around it, there's a sea of development and not a lot of wildlife habitat that's undeveloped on the bay side of Route 6.
Right.
So I just wanted to share that.
Right. So there again, the housing issue is an important one, and we need to work, continue to work with housing to look at the right places to do things. And
Yeah.
the windmill green probably we need that for other things, but maybe that should be how they talking about.
But we do have an opportunity though. The wastewater project has to be net loss. So the town is going to have to set aside some undeveloped areas to balance out that work.
Wow.
So it seems to me like permanently setting aside something as important as Sandy Meadow would fulfill some of that obligation instead of developing it as housing.
That's a great, that's again, a mechanism to get it forever protected. We need to keep working towards that, but that sounds like a great opportunity. We're still waiting for the CR on the 27 acres for the well field, which was a similar thing. We're doing the well field. We have to, swap out protecting some, and it's in a part of the Cape Cod National Seashore area. So that's good, but that's a great, some way we'll.
And this would be at no additional cost to the town. If the town has to buy additional land to protect it, that's expensive. And there don't seem to be funds set aside for that as part of the water project.
Right. And just as an aside, the map you just showed that shows to the west of Sandy Meadow, that's the Chapter 61 Massasoit Handle property, and all of that is under rare species too. That's also on the radar because it's under chapter protection. It's 11 acres with one house, and chapter protection is temporary, as you all know. But if the owners decide to take it out of chapter and sell it, the town has right of first refusal, or giving their right of first refusal to a local conservation group. You have to act quickly, but that's another one because of chapters. This is on the radar, but for development, there's a lot of it's right next to the marsh. There's an antique house on it. Might be a great joint project. A little bit of housing as preserving historic, and then open space. A trifecta.
Let me point out that Wiley Park also does not have a conservation restriction. It's a chapter
that 91.
That
91.
Yes, thing. Right. And the state just did add some new laws regarding protection of public lands, but it doesn't put them into permanent conservation restriction. The town still can ask, the legislature still can decide that they're going to convert it to something else, even though the new law does require that it be replaced with something better, or that it's assessed at market value plus some additional percentage, and that the money be spent on additional open space that's of equal or better value, but that money would have to be spent within, I think, 3 years. So Wiley is also not protected. I think the will of the town would be hell no, but it's still worth noting that if we're talking about unprotected important spaces, that it's not just Sandy Meadow, it's also Wiley.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think you're right, but there would be absolute outrage if the town wanted to develop housing development in Wiley Park. But
yeah, people do occasionally bring that up on Facebook as a talking point, though.
Right.
Just noting it's not out of people's thoughts.
Okay. So
I think there'd be a lynch mob, but still.
Yeah. So just to circle back, it's on the, it's just being discussed again. I think going forward with the OSRP and Shana really emphasizing, as it's already in there, that piece of land is a really important part of our natural resources as conservation land, and the possibility for permanent protection towards, and if it's connected to the wastewater project, that's a win-win. So,
Is this on the agenda at an upcoming housing meeting that we should make a presence on? Like, should we all actively try to be a part of these meetings?
Well, we had a joint meeting. I was trying to remember. It wasn't even in 2024. I think it was in
it was 2022, 1 or 2. I have
The last one was August 2022.
2022, yeah. The first and last.
We were
Right.
about that there might be some parcels in Eastham that would be large enough, and as Joanna just mentioned, where a portion could be affordable housing.
Right.
And then the larger portion would be reserved land.
There's still a number of those types of parcels. There's a few in chapter Higgins Road. There's a big chunk in chapter 61. There's a number of parcels that, the same groups we look at, and the housing looks at, that are privately owned. Governor Prince, there's some down in South Eastham where they weren't on the radar because there's houses on them, but you look and there's 11 acres in one house. That's exactly the kind of private parcel that, could be a joint, let's, acquire it from the town, develop it smartly with protecting chunks of it and concentrating development on the roadside.
You reminded me that I wanted to suggest that we take another look at our priority land list, and that we might want to take a look at properties that do have a structure on them. Recently, 320 State Highway was sold, and looks like it's going to be developed. That's right on Town Cove. It had a 1934 cottage, and the developer's going to want to replace that. But it's right on the mark, right on right on Town Cove, and it's got salt marsh and other things, and it would seem like a property that probably should have been on our radar, especially as the adjoining property, which hasn't been sold, is undeveloped as well. It's not a huge property, but it is still the kind of thing we should be looking at that is adjacent to areas that we might want for climate change mitigation. So it just seems to me like we haven't looked at the priority land list in a while.
We'll put that on an agenda, and we want to look at, I know we have categories of the types of properties, so this would be adding another category of it has housing.
I actually already did that.
Yeah.
There's those property. Well, 320 State Highway wasn't on it, but some of the properties that we don't think of, down in the Southeast Conservation Area are on that list. So we should just revisit and
share. I think probably Michelle hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
And we should probably look at it in relationship to the MC firm flooding and sea level rise projections as well.
And I mean, is it worth pitching another meeting with housing? Like, I feel like it's due time where they're going to kind of forget about us and our,
They already moved on.
yeah, I don't know.
Because I brought this up a couple of times during the strategic planning discussions, and it was really no, we don't need to have those discussions. But
Great.
then the housing people said, oh, we're really not interested in building new stuff. Our priority now is to renovate and convert existing buildings into affordable housing.
Well,
But it
good.
seems like if they're now talking about building, the priorities have changed again.
Mhm.
Again, I think, I don't know what, I wasn't at the meeting that Shana referred to, but that's, again, I know always what the town already owns, let's look at that. Let's, because then you can maybe
Mhm.
do something with it. The town
Well,
doesn't,
well, the
it's really, there's many more hoops.
right,
But
but the
getting to-
original purpose of that August meeting wasn't just for housing. It was
Right.
to look at open space / conservation, to look at housing, and to look at future municipal needs, and come to terms with a plan that kind of divvies it all up,
Mhm.
so everybody understands what's important and what's what, and
And it's to collaborate, not compete.
Right.
It's
Mhm.
just
right.
the view used to be that it's us and them, and when you look at what open space has conserved, it's not any of the places you could have had major development. So it's not like we're taking land that could have been a good housing project. So the maps produced by
Mhm.
APCC make a lot of sense. We
Right.
put land that is not ideal for development. It's ideal for conservation. But if there's some things that could be great joint ventures. So.
Right. So it seems with the Sandy Meadow thing coming up, and with the wastewater requirement for no net loss, that those are all reasons to, as Kate said, revisit it and talk about having another meeting. But maybe we want to look at our priority land list again before that,
For that, yeah.
and just talk through our strategy.
Right. Okay.
Good.
But to do it soon, and sooner than later.
Next meeting would be January 15th. Want it on the agenda then? Would that work out, Joanna, with the additions you've made?
I am having printer problems and tech problems, and so I have all these things in folders. I have hard copies, but I'm having more and more trouble updating on my Mac, and then I can't even print stuff now.
Right.
You can ask Amy to print for you.
Yeah,
She's happy to do it.
She was great. She said, just send me that. She printed.
Yeah.
So I'll try to get in, because some of these are used to be Excel. Now they're some kind of pages, data numbers it's called.
Mhm.
And then you have to export it to something else, and it's just making me crazy.
If you, numbers are Google Sheets. If you could export it, work in Google Sheets, then we all could have access.
Google, yeah.
Is January 15th doable, or would you prefer the February?
I think if January is going to be, there's no.
So
February.
We'll do the
And I
February meeting.
Yeah.
February 19th.
February 19th. We'll put that on the agenda for the February 19th meeting.
And Joanna, if you have hard copies of stuff that you need scanned, I have a really good scanner app. We could just sit together and do some of that.
My scanner thing, that doesn't work either. It's so.
Yeah, so I'm happy to do that at any point if you want to just message me. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And Amy is also a good resource for that if it doesn't work out with Kate. The conservation department has a good scanner.
Yes. Good. All right.
All important discussions. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Anyone else want to bring up some new business?
Just quickly, I don't know who we speak to, but part of the fence is down at Wiley as of an hour ago. When I walked by it, blocking the initial restoration area next to where the inlets were for the dog
Gotcha.
areas. Nothing fell on it. It almost looks like maybe somebody fell on it, but it's a good chunk of it's down.
Okay.
Good.
Just needs to be put back up.
Mhm.
And then that space that people were getting by or made like another extra path. Myself and somebody else took it upon ourselves to put debris that had fallen from other trees, and we've kind of blocked that off. So hopefully that will keep people. They really would, when they put that small section of fence up at the quote unquote dog beach. They should have just connected it to the other one. I don't know why they were kind of short-sighted. They only needed another 8 feet,
Right.
you know, but because they put it exactly were the entrance was, well, of course, people are just walking around it,
Yeah.
you know, so they made another path
Okay.
around it. Now I kind of threw some debris there, so nobody's really going through there, hopefully, until they decide they can move the debris. But the fence itself is down though on where the other stuff is growing from previous. Yeah.
Let me sense that.
Yeah, they just need to I thought it was just a simple prop up. I was gonna try to do it myself, but I couldn't get it. Somebody like knocked it down and
So it's not broken.
walked
it's just-
on it.
it's just
Yeah,
like-
the whole thing, I think the metal things are all bent.
Okay.
So it sounds like we also need an extra section of fence to connect the
Well,
whole
that would
thing
be-
together.
they can Connect that so that it really protects the area that we're
Yeah.
going.
And the cameras aren't up yet, right?
Sorry, enough. They're ready.
The drones are up.
Mhm.
Another-
No, those aren't drones. Those are Borg coming down to Borg from Star Trek.
Yes,
I hope so.
Yeah.
As opposed to the big one that was going over Route 6 last night, just past the Rotary in Orleans.
What?
Yeah, like the size of this table.
So they don't even know what
Yeah,
this.
I don't know.
thing
It's
It's Amazon's delivery service.
a
They're,
big one.
they're,
Who saw it? Is it-
A friend of mine who's a real estate agent, she took pictures of it, sent it to me. She goes, "What the hell is this?" And I said, "Well, it's
Definition
a
of
drone.
drone.
It's a drone, but it's a big one."
A
It's a big
big
one.
drone, okay.
Okay, we can continue that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on the meeting, is there anyone else with anything? Okay, I want to
Nope.
thank you all, and I want to wish you all a happy holiday and
Bless
you.
and,
Happy holidays,
Ha-
everyone.
Happy holidays.
healthy new year to all of you, and it's a
Wow.
great group, and I really enjoy spending time
Hanukkah
with you.
begins at sundown on Christmas Day. Now that's a first. Hanukkah actually
On,
starts
on, on Christmas Eve.
Christmas. This says
I think
sundown.
it's
Christmas Day.
that
The
night.
first day of Hanukkah is Christmas Day, but it starts at sundown on Christmas Eve.
Okay, then my calendar is in error.
Yep.
It says it starts at sundown on the 25th. But anyway, that's so, yeah. And of course, Boxing Day. So our next meeting is
The next
January
meeting-
15th,
January
which is Martin
15th.
Luther King's birthday. But
Wait a second, is the,
Not a
oh,
month.
no. it's
but
on a
the
Monday.
holiday
Right,
is the
right,
next
right.
Monday,
Okay.
observed on the 20th.
All right,
So we will meet on the 15th.
all right.
Yeah, just noting that Martin Luther King Day is observed the same day as the inauguration, which seems a little ironic.
Little irony.
Thanks, Karen. You made my day.
No.
Motion to
Now we
adjourn.
need to have a motion to adjourn.
A motion
Yes,
to
we
adjourn. I just did it.
Second.
Okay.
Second,
Aye.
aye.
All in
Aye.
favor? The pirates vote. The pirates
Aye.
voting. No, he went
All
back.
in-
Oh, no. Bye.
Thank you.
Yes.
Bye.
Charles
Happy
got the Queen's way.